Imagine you died today, right now, no warning. What would be your biggest regret? Most people would say, I didn't accomplish enough. I didn't make enough money. I didn't travel enough. But Darius J. Wright discovered something shocking through his decades of out-of-body experiences and near-death research. When people actually cross over, when they actually leave their bodies and experience what's on the other side, their regrets are completely different. Before we talk about what your soul judges, we need to understand what your soul actually is. And Darius makes something very clear. Your true home is not here. I know that sounds dark, but it's actually the most liberating thing you can understand. Because here's what Darius discovered. The physical reality you're experiencing right now, it's temporary. It's not your true home. You didn't originate here, and you're not staying here. Your true home is what Darius calls the other side, the eternal aspect of your soul.
And the moment you leave your body, whether through a near-death experience, an out-of-body experience, or actual death, you perceive this instantly. You look at your physical body lying there, and you realize with absolute certainty, that's not me. That was never me. I am the soul. I am the consciousness. I am the eternal aspect.
And here's what's shocking. The reality of the other side is more real than the reality you're experiencing right now. It's not less real. It's not a dream or an illusion. It's more physically real than this. Darius describes it as a state of pure love and complete freedom, a place where you're not limited by the constraints of a physical body.
But here's the key thing Darius emphasizes. Your soul is eternal. Your soul never dies. The idea that you have a beginning and an end, that's a human construction. That's a belief system we've been programmed with. But your soul, it's infinite. It always has been. It always will be.
And more than that, each soul is all-powerful. Each soul is divine. Darius says something that challenges everything we've been taught. Each individual soul is God, not in a religious sense, in a creative sense. You have the power to create. You have the power to manifest. You have the power to shape reality. But here's where it gets really important. The origin of everything, the source of all creation, is love. Not judgment, not punishment, not control, love. And that love is unconditional. It loves everyone the same way, no matter who they do, no matter who they are.
So when you die, when you cross over, you're not facing a judge in the sky. You're not facing punishment or damnation. You're facing yourself. And you're being measured against a standard you already know deep down, unconditional love. And that's where the 2 points come in.
Darius spent decades exploring out-of-body states. He's studied countless near-death experiences. He's talked to people who've crossed over and come back. And across all of that research, one pattern emerged consistently. When people experience life reviews, when their souls confront themselves after death, the focus is always the same.
There are only 2 things that matter in that review. Only 2 points that your soul actually cares about. And I want you to really hear this because it's going to change how you think about your life.
Point 1. Where did you demonstrate love? Your soul reviews the moments where you showed up authentically, where you expressed love, where you connected with others from a place of genuine care. These are the moments your soul celebrates. These are the moments that bring joy in the review.
Point 2. Where did you deny love? Your soul reviews the moments where you could have been more loving but weren't, where you hid yourself, where you chose fear over authenticity. These are the moments that bring pain, not punishment, pain.
And here's what's crucial to understand. That pain isn't coming from external judgment. It's not God punishing you. It's you confronting yourself. It's your soul recognizing the gap between who you are and who you were being.
Darius describes this as the greatest pain you will ever feel. And it's not the pain of hell or damnation. It's the pain of recognizing the love you didn't express. It's the pain of seeing the authentic self you hid. It's the pain of love that was denied, to yourself and to others.
And here's what makes this so powerful. This isn't abstract. This isn't theoretical. People who've had near-death experiences report this exact thing. They come back and they say the same thing. The only thing that mattered in their life review was, where did I love? Where did I fail to love?
Nothing else mattered. Not their job title, not their bank account, not their social status, not how many followers they had or how much they accomplished. The only thing that mattered was, did I express love? Did I show up authentically?
And Darius goes deeper. He talks about why this is the case. He says, this entire physical reality, this entire experience on Earth was designed for one purpose: to teach the soul what it's like to not be completely in love, to experience the opposite of love. Because here's the thing, if you've never experienced fear, you can't truly understand love. If you've never experienced separation, you can't truly appreciate connection. So Earth is the classroom, and the curriculum is learning to love in the face of fear.
But most people get distracted in the classroom. Most people forget the assignment. They think the assignment is to accumulate things, to achieve status, to win the game. But the actual assignment is, can you love? Can you be authentic? Can you express your true self?
And when you die, when you cross over, that's when you realize what the assignment actually was. That's when you see clearly. I spent my whole life chasing the wrong things. I had the opportunity to express love, and I chose fear instead.
Now here's where Darius adds something really important. He talks about the nature of that pain. He says even people who did terrible things, even people who committed atrocities, they're not condemned, because the source of all creation, the origin of everything, is unconditional love.
And unconditional love doesn't condemn. It doesn't punish. It doesn't judge. It just loves. It loves everyone the same way. Even the person who did the most evil thing you can imagine, they're still loved unconditionally by the source.
But here's the paradox. That unconditional love makes the pain even more intense, because when you're in that state of pure love, when you're confronted with the source of all love, and you realize you denied that love to yourself and to others, that's devastating. It's not punishment, it's recognition, it's truth.
And Darius says something that really captures this. Even people who did evil are like children having a tantrum of pain. They're crying out, "Help me, I'm suffering, I need love." Because to do evil, to deny love, you have to be in a state of absolute pain. You have to be completely disconnected from your true nature.
So the life review isn't about condemnation. It's about recognition. It's about seeing yourself clearly. And that clarity, that's both beautiful and painful. Beautiful because you see where you loved. Painful because you see where you didn't.
But here's the most important part. You're still alive. You still have time to change this. You don't have to wait until you're dead to figure out what matters. You can figure it out now. You can start expressing love now. You can start being authentic now. Now, Darius challenges something that a lot of religions teach. He says many religions are based on fear. They're based on the idea that God is judging you, that you'll be punished if you don't obey. But that's a perversion of the truth.
Because the true nature of the source, the true nature of God, is unconditional love. And you cannot have unconditional love with judgment. Those two things are incompatible. So if a religion is based on fear and judgment, it's not reflecting the true nature of the source.
Darius says the source will love you no matter what. Not because you deserve it, not because you earned it, but because love is what the source is. It's not a reward for good behavior. It's the fundamental nature of existence.
So when your soul is reviewed, it's not being judged by an external authority. It's being measured against the standard that's already within you, the standard of your own authentic nature, the standard of unconditional love. And the only judgment that matters is, did I express that? Did I be that?
And here's what's really important. That judgment is compassionate. Even when your soul recognizes where it failed to love, that recognition comes with compassion, not condemnation, because the source loves you unconditionally, and your soul knows that.
So the pain isn't punishment. It's the pain of recognizing beauty that could have been expressed, but wasn't. It's like an artist looking at their masterpiece and seeing where they could have added more color, more depth, more authenticity. The pain comes from the recognition of what was possible, not from external judgment.
And Darius emphasizes this.
This is why so many religious teachings have been perverted, because if people understood that the source is unconditional love, they wouldn't be afraid. They wouldn't need to be controlled. So fear-based religions were created as a tool of control, not as a reflection of truth.
But the truth is, you're infinitely loved. Your soul is infinitely loved. No matter what you've done, no matter what you do, you're loved. The only judgment that exists is the judgment you place on yourself when you realize you didn't express that love.
And that's actually liberating, because it means you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to earn love. You just have to be authentic. You just have to express yourself genuinely. That's it. That's the only thing that matters.
So what's the actual purpose of your soul? What are you actually here to do? Darius is very clear about this. The purpose of every soul is to express unconditional love by being unconditionally themselves.
Not by performing love, not by acting loving, but by being so authentically, purely yourself that love naturally radiates from you. Your authentic self is love. Your true nature is love. When you suppress your authentic self, you suppress love. When you hide who you really are, you deny love to the world.
And here's what Darius says that's really radical. If you're not being your authentic self, you're not being love. You're being the opposite of love. You're being fear. You're being control. You're being inauthenticity.
So the greatest sin, if you want to call it that, isn't breaking a rule. It's not doing something bad. The greatest sin is denying your authentic self. It's hiding who you really are. It's choosing fear over truth.
Because when you do that, you're not just hurting yourself, you're denying the world your unique expression. Darius says each soul has a unique frequency, a unique way of being, a unique expression. And without that expression, creation itself is incomplete. The universe is less balanced, less whole.
Think about it. If every person on Earth was trying to be someone else, if everyone was suppressing their authentic self, what would happen? Creation would collapse. There would be no diversity. There would be no unique expressions. There would be no balance. So your authenticity isn't just important for you. It's important for all of creation.
And that's why the Life Review focuses on those 2 points. Where did you express love? And where did you deny it? Because expressing love means being yourself. Denying love means hiding yourself. It's that simple.
So the purpose of your soul is to be yourself unconditionally, and to love yourself unconditionally for who you are, and to express that love to others, to show up authentically, to share your unique frequency with the world.
And here's the beautiful part. When you do that, when you're operating from that place, you're operating at the highest frequency possible.
You're operating as your soul operates, and your soul is all powerful. So you become a creator. You become a manifester. You become unstoppable.
But most people never get there. Most people spend their whole lives hiding. Most people spend their whole lives in fear. And then they die and they see clearly what they missed. And that's the pain. That's the greatest pain.
But you don't have to experience that pain. You can start now. You can start being yourself now. You can start expressing love now. And that's what we're going to talk about next.
Darius discovered something profound through his out-of-body experiences. He says, fear is the only thing that imprisons the soul. Not sin, not karma, not punishment. Fear.
And the fundamental fear, the root fear that everything else comes from, is the fear of death. Because if you believe you can die, if you believe you can be destroyed, then you're afraid. You're afraid of loss. You're afraid of pain. You're afraid of the end.
But Darius proves through his decades of exploration, death is not real. Your soul never dies. Your consciousness never ends. You are eternal. And the moment you truly understand that, the moment you truly believe that, fear dissolves.
Because what's left to fear? If you can't die, if you can't be destroyed, if you're eternal, what's there to be afraid of? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And Darius describes something beautiful. He says, when you go deep into your fears, when you descend into the darkest depths of fear, you find something. You find a spark of light, a spark that never goes out. And that spark is love. And that love carries you through. That love brings you home.
So the path from fear to freedom is actually the path from inauthenticity to authenticity. It's the path from hiding to being seen. It's the path from denial to expression.
And Darius gives us a tool to find our authentic self. He asks, what if nothing mattered? What if there were no consequences? What if no one was judging you? What would you do? What would you say? How would you act? Your answer to that question is your authentic self.
Because when you remove fear, when you remove the concern about judgment or consequences, what remains is your truth. What remains is who you actually are.
And that's the person your soul wants to be. That's the person your soul came here to express. So the question becomes, are you going to wait until you're dead to figure that out, or are you going to figure it out now?
Because you're still alive. You still have time. You can still change this. You can start expressing your authentic self today. You can start expressing love today. You can start being free today.
And when you do, something shifts. Your frequency rises, your electromagnetic field expands, your ability to manifest increases, because you're operating from your highest frequency. You're operating as your soul operates.
And that's when life becomes what it's meant to be, an expression of love, an expression of authenticity, an expression of freedom.
So let's bring this back to the beginning. If you died today, what would be your biggest regret? Would it be that you didn't make enough money? That you didn't achieve enough? Or would it be that you didn't express enough love? That you didn't be yourself? That you hid who you really were?
Because based on everything Darius has discovered, based on countless near-death experiences, based on the life reviews people have reported, the answer is clear. Your biggest regret would be the love you didn't express, the authentic self you didn't share.
So the question becomes, what are you going to do about that right now? You don't have to wait until you're dead to figure this out. You can figure it out today.
And we want to ask you something. In the comments, write down one moment where you denied love, one moment where you hid yourself, and then write down one action you're going to take today to express your authentic self, one way you're going to show up differently. Because that's how change happens. That's how you start living according to what your soul actually cares about.
And if this resonated with you, if this message touched something deep inside, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because there are people in your life who are hiding. There are people who are afraid. There are people who need to know that their authentic self matters. Share this with them. Help them wake up. Help them remember.
And if you want to go deeper into these teachings, if you want to understand more about how to access your soul's power, how to manifest from a place of authentic love, we have 2 videos waiting for you. Right now on your screen, you're going to see 2 options. Choose the one that calls to you.
Because your journey to authenticity, to freedom, to expressing unconditional love, it's just beginning. And we're here to walk that journey with you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for your openness. Thank you for being willing to explore what your soul actually cares about. We'll see you in the next one.
Be authentic. Express love. Be free.